Good morning, Sabres. I'm Adamari Jimenez reporting from 2020 Vision, here today with breaking news. Last year, we talked about Yemen's largest famine in the world. If you don't remember, that's okay, I got you. Famine has been a major problem all around the world. You're probably wondering to yourself, what is a famine? It's a situation in which small or large populated areas are lacking food and are close to starvation. As they were trying to recover, the Houthis, which is a rebellious group that emerged in northern Yemen, ran into conflict with Saudi Arabia. Keep in mind, there has always been a conflict between these two regions. The Houthis launched a missile towards King Khalid International Airport. Luckily, Saudi Arabia intercepted it and no damage was done. However, Saudi Arabia counterattacks Yemen by blocking their borders to prevent their people from receiving any goods. Due to the blockage made by Saudi Arabia, the International Committee of the Red Cross wasn't able to import foods, health, and medical supplies. They had to call and make sure the land ports weren't closed in order to deliver the goods. Some of the things that were imported included chlorine caps, which cleaned and disinfected water, and insulin, which is used by people who have diabetes. Saudi Arabia chose to close it because they wanted to prevent Iran from sending any weapons to Yemen. Saudi Arabia's imposed blockade has halted flow of humanitarian aid to Yemen. With this blockade, 8 million people, 1/4 of the population, are at risk of starvation. And now Yemen is still the largest humanitarian crisis in the world. A humanitarian crisis is defined as a singular or series of events that are threatening in terms of health and safety of a community. Around the beginning of 2018, the blockade was partially lifted for aid to come in, but commercial imports weren't allowed. There wasn't nearly enough food or fuel coming in or going around as well.
A review of marine traffic shows the arrivals of ships in Hodeidah dropped by half in November. And these satellite photos show an active shipyard 1 year ago, right before the blockade. And now, the port is almost empty. One key shipment not getting through Hodeidah is fuel. Aid organizations we spoke to say the fuel shortage is setting off a vicious circle of suffering. These aid groups are warning of a reduced ability to deliver food and aid, reduced access to pumped and purified water, and a struggle to keep generators on at hospitals. Fuel prices have doubled since the start of December. Fuel is especially needed to deliver water across one of the driest countries on earth.
Earlier this year, water shortages caused a cholera epidemic that affected nearly 1 million, and now water isn't affordable for 2/3 of the country, prompting fears of other disease outbreaks. So here we have Yemen, it's not labeled, and recently in February, the Saudi-led coalition announced a month extension to the reopening of the Red Sea ports that they have here to commercial traffic and has pledged $1.5 billion in humanitarian funding. And I'm back. Well, that's all we have for today. I'm Adamari Jimenez from 2020 Vision. See you next year, Sabres!